Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I practice photography when I don't have any place to go, or any fancy cities to visit. It was a really busy week and I really didn't have enough time to, go to the city or anywhere like that, anywhere that's really nice to look at. So I just practiced my photography in the parking lot and I think it turned out great. There's some shots that I really like. So starting off here, we see I'm in a parking lot and I immediately see a rooftop. Rooftops are nice because they're easy to practice your negative space. I'm not necessarily having any intentions with the negative space because I know you can use them to show isolation, to show scale, but this one I'm just practicing my composition. It's one of the first things I saw. I'm like, that would be cool to see, and I think it turned out to be a pretty decent shot. As you can see here, my photo is in black and white, and this is something I do just whenever I'm practicing photography and I just really want to focus on my composition, and it just takes the color and how it looks kind of out of my mind and just focusing on the composition essentially. Yeah, here I saw some patterns. I don't know about you, but I really like patterns even though they're not really good. And I just enjoy taking pictures of patterns. Something about them is so satisfying, and just here the diagonal lines, and I don't know, I just took it just to see if I could make something out of it. Later in the video I'm going to show you a photo that I wish I did take but I didn't, and it was also pattern related. So here I saw a really nice corridor where I could practice my framing and leading lines, and as you can see here, it goes all the way to the end of the corridor outside of this mall strip area, and the leading lines from the walls from the ceiling and to the street just leads to a nice center framing of a subject, and that's why I really like this. This is probably one of the best photos I took for the day. Next one, I know my GoPro is kind of tilted downwards because I really wanted to show how it looks on when I was messing with my camera. But here I kind of saw the same thing as on the other side, but here's a lot more brick wall, and there's natural lines in brick walls. And I decided to get real up close to the wall just to really emphasize the leading lines to the subject, and I waited for my subject here to walk past and head into I think it was a Best Buy. And yeah, here's some of the photos here. I think I got a few good ones. That one I really like. This man walking is kind of okay, and this lady was pretty good. I really like this one. So yeah, same thing, framing, leading lines. Here I was aiming to practice my rule of thirds and framing, as well as negative space and leading lines. As you can see, it kind of all blended into one. Now that may not necessarily be a good thing, but it's just one of those things that I wanted to experiment with and just kind of try and kind of see what happens. So these are the shots that I got, and you can see here rule of thirds and the leading lines from the earlier photo, as well as the subject in there. So I'm walking down the street and I'm like, oh, look at this, some more leading lines. I don't really care if it's it's gonna be a bad photo. There's nothing special about it. Again, the goal here is to just practice. So simple leading lines leading up to a car. This one with the bench right here, right at this moment. I really wish I took this shot. I'm looking at it now and I think it would have been really cool if I had this shot. And let me just zoom into that so you can see. So I don't know if it would have been cool, but looking back at it, I really wish I took it. So it's just one of those things I gotta remind myself, even though it's not gonna be anything special at that moment, just take it anyway if I found it interesting. So yeah, here, same thing. I don't really know what I was going for. It's kind of reverse. It's kind of framing at the same time, but I was using the bottom of the bench and the wall to kind of frame this person that's walking through. And I was kind of waiting here, and I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a person coming up, and I kind of used the edge of the photo, the edge of the photo as a frame as well. I just thought it might be cool. So yeah. A little more negative space. I saw these cool trees from way out in the distance, and yeah, this is what I got. This is a lot of negative space. I think the black and white really adds a nice touch to these kinds of photos. Very simplistic and like almost pleasing to look at. Here, coming from that negative space inspiration, I kind of just went along with it and got some more negative space. I kind of got inspired off the previous photo and kind of went along with it and just practiced my rule of thirds and more negative space, and just took a picture of this simple light post. Again, nothing special, just practicing our photography here. Next one, again, leading lines, and I realized when I went up against that wall that the lines really emphasized the subject from earlier, the brick photo, and I wanted to try this one but getting down low onto the street, because you never know what you're gonna see until you change your perspective. I just got really low and ended up with this photo. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.